number one thing to worry about, especially when you're a wee bit inebriated, is you're going to want to worry about safety. If you got an auto dimmer, you're going to want to make sure to check your settings before you want to touch your welder. You know, the number one step to actually getting this process going is to think about all the dust and fumes that fly up. You also want to have a mask on. I don't have mine on, so you can hear me. Fuck that other shit. Alright. What's up? This is going to be a long night of working on the El Camino.
How you doing, Dominic? Where's Lake?
Alright, so mostly we're dealing with the interior here. Got a lot of rust that we're dealing with. Not as bad as a lot of what I've seen online and whatnot for the most part, but there's some stuff we've been working on for a while, so we're going to attack it tonight and get a lot of it finished. See how far we can get. Alright, so we're about to go inside of the El Camino right now, start working. What we're going to do is we're going to have 2 vacuums going. It's getting pretty late at night. We live in a neighborhood that we don't want to be too loud in. So every once in a while we're going to have fans running, blowing everything that way.
Disturb the neighbors.
And we're going to open up the doors every once in a while, just to air the place out. But our first plan of attack is we've got the whole other side sealed off with tape and garbage bags and everything. There's nothing going to get out that side. This side will drop down. It'll be taped off. We're both going to get in there with full-blown respirators. And I don't know if you want to grab that one. And then, yeah, the new one. No, it's in the bag still. So then, once we go... Alright, so once we have both the vacuums running, everything's sealed off and we're inside the unit, and we've got our respirators going 100%. We're gonna start chopping away at all the rust, and then game plan is to get as much as we can in one go, let all the dust that we can settle. We'll have vacuums trying to pull it out as much as we can, but then we'll let everything settle for a little bit. We'll go in there and we'll vacuum everything hardcore, still using respirators all the time, and then we'll just see how far we can get. Hopefully we can get far enough to cut them panels out and weld some new ones in.
Heck yeah, we're talking these specific parts.
For a better view of what we're looking at,
Yeah.
we got a hole in this pan here. We're gonna have to cut a chunk out of that panel and weld in a patch panel. Same with the other side, over in this direction. Over there. And a little bit more kind of surface rust and whatnot. The top's not looking too bad. Big thing about this car is that the body is completely straight. So we're finding all the rust that we can, taking it down to the bare metal, getting rid of it, painting over it. A lot of this here has been stripped down and coated already, and it's holding up pretty good. Gets a lot of dust on it from still working on the other panels. We've got the roof done. There's a lot of rust up there originally. Let's see if we can get a light on it. And it was really pinholed up there, but at this point we've got it managed. So we'll kind of take it in baby steps here, get it done. Some brackets on this side near the steering column that are real rusted out. So we'll pull those out and give them a good knockdown.
Probably the first thing we're gonna want to do is get under this car and see the gas tank.
Yeah, so
we are gonna be
that's a
cutting.
good point.
We're gonna be cutting all this metal out, each bay by each bay, and we have no clue if there's Sparks lining up. Perfect.
Exactly. So we're gonna see where exactly the gas tank is.
Hopefully we can just drop it without having to cut fuel lines, because that's not what we want to do.
So down underneath the old girl, got a little bit of surface rust we'll have to take care of. And cut down here, not a whole lot. You can see where our holes are up there in that back panel. And I believe our gas tank sits somewhere. I think it's that.
Is that it right there?
Is it behind the axle?
I think so.
Is it really behind the axle? Alright, let's go see. Let's go see if this thing's behind the axle. You alright?
Oh, spooter.
Oh, no. No spooters.
Alright,
Spooter, no spooter.
Mr.
Alright,
Man.
alright, so here we got,
We're in a predicament
real quick, off topic. We got some, a lot of the interior pieces here. Just sitting in the back. Got the new dashboard. Hey, be careful with that.
Custom.
That's the custom dash. Alright.
This is the only thing I need.
We're gonna take a peek underneath here. Got some klebs. And that appears that's definitely the gas tank. 100% that's the gas tank. So
Where we're not even.
so the gas tank ends before the rear wheel starts back there. And we're working probably about where the rear wheel starts. Like up here in the front. So I think we're pretty good. We'll do pretty good on that. I do want to double check.
We'll probably go in there and.
We'll double check one time underneath, make sure there's no fuel lines routed under anywhere where we're going to cut when we draw out our lines and everything. But we'll get to that once we knock down a lot more of this rust and start coating everything up. So the most part, we're not really going to worry about the glue right now, the seam sealer at all. We're just going to leave that. We might try to hit it with this wheel just a little bit to try and pick it up, but we don't want to get into this metal at all, except for this area where there's a little bit of a hole. Here, we've got some rust on the back side of these panels, so we're just gonna keep pulling these panels up until we take care of all the rust in there. So we'll have to weld in a bunch of patch panels around.
So what do you
After we take it all down to the bare
You want
metal.
me to? You just want me to wire wheel all this so I'm down to bare metal on this bad boy, or mark it out and cut it?
So on this one, yeah, this one's pretty much ready to cut at this point. We'll probably take some pliers and cut a strip up here, and then try to pry this up and just see how far back the rust goes. Maybe we could stick a little mirror down in there and see how far back the rust goes, because we don't want to pull up too much of it. I also don't know. It doesn't seem to go over here too far, but it seems that it might be rusting out in that whole channel, which might be across here. But this corner is rusting out pretty good, and same with that opposite corner over here. I feel like it's going to be a pretty good little hole there.
Okay, so you just want me to hit it with the grinder?
So, yep, and then when we do hit the glue, it's just going to be a bunch of smoke. So first, try to hit all these spots where there's just little surface rust, which is going to be like, you know, back there. It's going to be...
You want me to try to get up here?
And then like right here as well. Mostly. Okay. There, let's see.
Doesn't look like it. Just look alright.
I think for the most part, this could do with some wire wheel. And
yeah,
then,
I might want to take a rag to it first.
Yeah, because it's mostly dusted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely getting oxidized though. So if we just take a wire wheel to that and then paint it with everything else. So,
okay.
At this point. So for the most part, what I'll be doing today is just taking care of this whole section Got that side painted up last night. This side I'll need to grind it down again and paint it up. Maybe the top here I'll go over with a wire wheel and then paint that up. But yeah, we'll see how far we get. I won't be doing much for filming of what I'm actually doing. I'll just be filming little updates here and there, just so I can utilize my time a little bit better and get some stuff done. So anyways, just got the whole rear here, the quick coating. Gonna leave these two sections open for now. It's not gonna be any trouble, I don't think, at all. Won't buckle. And basically just coated everything down so it won't rust anymore. And then once I get to the new place, I'll end up going through and actually filling in all these holes with, I'll weld them the best I can, and then probably will end up body filling it just a little bit and then putting some kind of some more paint down there. But it's coming along. Most of the rust is out of here in the front and all. You'll see there's like basically no rust up here. Didn't get as much done as we had hoped, just because kind of switched up painting techniques just a little bit. So everything's still the same under here. And up inside here, I've decided to keep going with the rust reformer as my base coat. And now I've gone to gloss protective enamel on top of everything. I'm not worried about it. So as for the rear, I've kind of coated this a few times back and forth. So you'll see we got the gloss on the rear, the far back wall, and I've re-gone over where I glossed. Well, I put the rust reformer down and then glossed, and then put more rust reformer down. So then we'll gloss this whole rear again and call the rear done until we get to the new house. We'll be moving in about 4 days from now, so tomorrow I'll come in here, clean up all the rest of any surface rust I can get to, and then got some kind of retainers like this helping to hold this window in. Those are pretty rusty. Likely those screws will pop out without a problem, even on this side as well. The screws will probably come out without a problem. You can see the screws on the inside are actually holding on that weather strip that's completely chewed up, so maybe kill two birds with one stone there, even though, of course, this one doesn't really have any rust on it. So the driver's side seatbelt, I just left them in on both sides. Still need to take that out when we get to the new place, and then make sure I can get all the rust that's behind it, if there is any. Didn't really seem like there was much, but I think behind these, back in these channels here, you can't spray in there. You can't really get anything in there. So I think I'm going to try the Eastwood interior frame coating to try and get inside of some of those holes, and then even some of kind of these cracks way down into the corner, and then up in the bracing of the roof and all. Be real nice up in these holes, just because when I paint it, you know, I can only get so far in there. So we'll try to hit that again, and then I will paint this back wall tomorrow, the rest of the glue off of it and paint it up. But overall, everything's looking pretty good so far. So, shouldn't be more than a couple more days and we'll have this thing on the road.